And my girl, she over here, she's still thinking Walking Dead with her racist ass. She's like, look at Glenn and Maggie. Oh, like, just because he Asian. For her anniversary, maybe if I got her
some merch,
a shirt from DTmerch.com.
That's what I thought.
You know, that's what, baby. I was saving it as a surprise.
Yes.
But you know, I always have to spoil it, baby. For your anniversary, I got all these wonderful shirts, caps, beanies, phone covers, baby. Baby, I'll tell you what I got for anniversary. I'm giving you the gift of choice. She's like, I'll choose a new husband. There are many ways to subscribe. I talk about using that Amazon account with our Amazon Pay button, put in that username, that password, press enter. Ooh, toasted goodness. All over. Baby, can you feel it? Oh, there it is. hit a late. There it is right there. Double Toast in Chicago. You see that we'll be at the Park West, Double Toast Live Chicago. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starting at 8. Full night of comedy, games, prizes, music, and one big party at the end of the night. Let's go ahead and take a look at The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 2. Now, The Last of Us is a game that I fell in love with. I must have played that game like 3 times over, and I played it every time, not even for the gameplay. I played it just to watch the story every time because it's so incredible. I always said that, you know, it's the great combination of that game is to play it and have somebody in the room watching. Get somebody who doesn't even like games and have them watch that. And my girl watched it.
That would be me.
That would be you. It was like, for her, it was almost like she was watching me play, and it was in an HBO show. She was just watching it, and you were into the story.
Yeah, it was a good story.
Yeah, it was a great story. So now they got The Last of Us Part 2. And what people are being fascinated by here is that the characters have grown a little bit. It was Ellie, right? Ellie.
Yep, you're correct.
Ellie's a teenager now, pretty much a woman. And the thing that people see as a tragedy is that Ellie, you know, she had Joel, who was the guy who was trying to save her in the game, and he went to some great lengths, almost to the point of some people, it's controversial what he did to save this girl.
Spoiler.
No, I didn't say anything. I'm just saying it's controversial. The decision he made, it's one of the endings. It's talked about like it's like some movies. It's one of the most talked about endings. What would you have done? And so, but the people are positive about it. They say, but you know what? He did it for love, and it's probably a much better world for her and making her a better person. But now but now what people are saying is they look at Ellie and they're like, damn, look like she became more of an asshole than Joel. You know? So let's go ahead.
And his trailer's controversial.
Yeah. They're even like going in and talking about playing with sexuality and everything too. Let's take a look at The Last of Us 2. We'll come back and give our discussion and reaction on that. Cap that head. Blap.
That's amazing.
God damn, man! Yes,
that was crazy. I don't know how much that was game. I don't know how much that was really gameplay or something that they set up for a demo, but that shit was nice.
Whatever it was, man, it pulled me in.
Yeah,
just like what they did with the first game. It pulled me in with a combination of action and storytelling. When I say storytelling, I'm talking about
lesbian love.
It's always lesbian love. That's always a good thing. But no, I'm talking about how they were able to weave the tenseness into the gameplay. I mean, that's why I'm talking. That's why my girl loved to watch me play the game. Now, I got to say something about that with the gameplay here and what it is. Now, when we had The Last of Us, the first one, that was on PS2.
Three.
PS3, PS4, and that was on PS3, and now this is on PS4. And I'm looking at this, and I know this is like maybe a dumb thing to say, but I've never said this about any of the game I've looked at before. I'm like, wow, those weeds look amazing. You know, like the grass that she's going through, like when she maneuvers through the foliage there. Like I was looking early on at some of the plants, like this part right here, where she was walking on the plants with like the big leaves, and I'm just looking at how they're reacting to her, and if that's gameplay, that's amazing. But with that said, looking at how amazing everything looks, it brings to a question. And I love this because I was looking at this and I was thinking early on, I was thinking, wow, man, I'm horrified by this violence that they have going on because now it's so realistic. And then I saw what they did to that dude hanging right there, and I'm like, no, these assholes got it coming. I was like, I can't wait to jump in and take some of these people out like this. But are we getting to a point, and this is for a question for everybody here, whoever wants to answer, are we getting to a point now where the imagery is becoming so realistic that it's kind of hard to like participate in this kind of violence, much less watch it? I almost felt like some of it hurts. Even right there, I was even pressing like an imaginary hood controller, trying to get out of that situation. I feel if the violence is feeling harder to commit in games like this. Oz, do you feel a similar way?
It's funny. It's funny that you said that because as I'm watching it, I said to myself, I don't want to play this. I'd watch it, but I don't want to play this. It's definitely a case where am I queasy about the violence and death? Nah. And we've all played games that we had to shoot people in the head and cut them up and stuff like this. Does it look realistic? Hell yeah. Right now, these video games are rivaling your best blockbuster movies right now. So me watching this, it's just like watching any movie that I would watch in a theater or something like that on Netflix. Like I said, I personally couldn't play it because I would be too intimidated by how the fuck am I going to do all that stuff? You know what I mean? There's no way. I can't do that.
There's a lot going on. I was looking at
I couldn't play that.
Is this really going to happen in the game or is this just to show?
No, it all happens in the game. It's all in-game footage. You can tell.
Yes, it's in-game footage, but I don't know if it's going to play out exactly like this because there were some movements that you would need prompts to do because she's just turning around and hacking people and doing, there's no way.
Yeah, because I'm looking at some of the moves that you do here. Like one move that everybody was like, damn, that was kind of cool. When she picked up that bottle and threw it and the camera keeps going and you run into her.
You did that in the first game.
In the first game too, yeah. But it's just, that's what I mean, man. In the first game, even then the graphics were just, they're not on par with what we have here. Like now it's very realistic. And, I don't know. Maybe queasy is the wrong word. I just like I in a video game, I know that there's a detachment there. That boundary between that detachment of the uncanny valley, that being a video game, something not being real, is kind of closing a little bit. And I feel like I'm really hurting real people now. With some of this. And I know some of it is, I know it's still video game mechanics because my wife was saying, she's spoiling it for everybody. She's like, nobody would be able to get out of that. I'm like, look, it's a game, baby. Don't ruin this for everybody here. But how do you
need next to you playing to bring you back to reality?
Yeah, exactly. How you feel about that, Carlos? About the violence in the game?
Here's the thing. I liked the first game, didn't love it because I thought the story was the best thing. Didn't really like the gameplay that much, and the PS3 was kind of choppy. It's not when it was ported to a PS4 that I actually enjoyed it a little bit more because we're more stable. I am so excited in playing with this because this reminds me of Children of Men. This is greedy. And it's serving a purpose. It's not gratuitous. It's not violence for the sake of violence.
You don't think that's gratuitous?
No, here's the thing. No. It's not violence for the sake of violence. It's violence to tell a story.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. In the first Last of Us, because I didn't finish playing it, you're pretty much killing like creatures, right?
No. You're playing. No. That's right. We didn't see anything on that. We didn't see any creatures.
No, not, and they're going to be there because I remember they had a demo. Not really. Maybe it was a demo. I know they had some footage where they showed creatures attacking, but it's all the game, the clickers and all that. Yeah, the game has always been about. Just like they say with zombie movies, it's always been about how more horrible people are than the actual creatures. So you're actually hurting more people, human beings, in the first game. They got some rough scenes of violence in there. You pop somebody's kneecap in one scene. You know what I mean? You remember that? Yeah, man, it's kind of fucked up, man. And my wife knows me so well because you're talking about getting out of situations. That real tense situation right there, it had me on edge, and I was feeling my heart is beating right now. I love sneaking up on motherfuckers and taking them out, man. You sold me on this scene where they're in this little this deserted shopping store right here, like Corner Market, whatever it is. I was sold on this by seeing that right there. I love that.
Corey would take half an hour there and pick everything up.
What's that at me?
You would take half an hour and pick everything up and just walk around and try to find shit.
Man, I would make the best sniper in the world. I just sit up there and I just wait. She seen me. I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, come on, motherfucker. I got Yeah, she's seen the worst of me, man. That's how I know I can survive the apocalypse. But
I'm waiting to see some more some gameplay, because a lot of stuff is like I said, cinematically looks great, and I'm sure those are the character models that they're using. I'm sure that's in-game gameplay. But just a lot of the movements is like, okay, you ran up and grabbed the arrow out the guy's chest. Usually there'd be a prompt there to take that shit out of him.
Yeah,
you just ran up and took it out. So it's like
the prong could be there. It's just that you're not seeing the prong, but that's the animation. Because even if you see Uncharted 4, Uncharted 4 has a lot of that type of animation, that fluidity. Because we can't really compare it to the last generation. If we compare it more to Uncharted 4, you can see the similarities, and then you can be like, oh, I can see how this evolves. Especially because you can tell this is not playing on a regular PlayStation.
Yeah,
this is a Pro. This is a PlayStation Pro or a high-end PC, and we might get a bit of a downgrade. But holy shit, that scene was awesome! Oh my god, that was Rambo, man. That was Rambo level of violence. I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, you could definitely see. I played the Last of Us so many times. I can definitely see, how the improvement in visuals is here.
Oh yeah,
and that's the thing that's freaking me out. It's like, man, it's just the way this just opens up with the blood in here. And my girl, she over here, she's still thinking Walking Dead with her racist ass. She's like, look at Glenn and Maggie. Just because he Asian. She's like, yep. We open it up with her sticking a knife in somebody's neck right here. My fear of the game, this is what I'm telling. This is what I'm afraid of. My fear of the game is that they're going to increase the brutality where it's not necessary. I hope they don't do that.
Here's the thing: it's Naughty Dog. They have a record. They have never done that.
Okay.
Since the first Uncharted, they've been doing that, and now with The Last of Us, they always serve a purpose, and they know what they're doing. These are people that easily have more than 25 years of experience in the studio. I met a couple of developers. I'm being blessed to know a lot of those people, even play some of their tech demos. And I assure you, if there's any game right now at E3 that you should feel calm and secure, it's this one.
Okay.
It has all my faith in it.
With Ellie, our main character here, brilliant move to make the game about her. And she's aged. We were talking about it the other day, how, whether it's video games or movies, seeing a character age makes you kind of closer to them. You feels like you're going on a journey with them. Ellie being in the game here, she's also clearly a lesbian. And I know that Oz was asking about how, that there's all this, and I don't think this is the case. I think Oz was saying that some people might consider, like, a lot of these games now, they have an agenda, to push a liberal agenda of either, sexuality or feminism in their games. And we see that kind of happening here. And Oz, what'd you say?
No, it was just a Facebook thing that I read that people are, getting up in arms. The same people who were angry about the Ghostbusters reboot, those same people. Talking about women are the new men in games and stuff like that.
And listen, I will tell you, there's a lot of times where it seems like that's happening, and it seems like it is kind of being a trend in a way. I mean, because we're seeing it so much, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I did not like the Ghostbusters reboot because I thought that they just did that for no reason other than it's different, and that's a trendy thing right now. We recently saw it like in a lot of things. Lego 2 trailer.
Technically, I did the warrior stuff.
So you fought and master built and kicked butt, and then the hapless male was the leader.
She got a point. But I will say something like when we see that here in the Last of Us 2, it seems like a more natural part of the story than an agenda. I
don't want to see them use it as a crutch or something to shoehorn in, just like that. It seemed like it's shoehorned in the Lego movie for some reason. Whereas this, it's coming off of her and Joel's story, so it only makes sense for her to be the main protagonist now. Her sexual preference doesn't need to come up. I don't know.
May I intervene?
Did it need to be there? Who knows? It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. You want to say something, Carla?
Oh, of course. Have you guys played the DLC for The Last of Us?
No, but I know that she was a little lesbian in that. So.
There you go. So this has been planned since the very beginning. Yeah. And even in the first game, a lot of her comments and a lot of the stuff that you see is like, okay, it's there. It's just not directly, relevant to the story. But because the story focus on her is something that we need to explore as part of the character development. There's a purpose, man.
Did they have touches of it in the DLC? Yes, but now that it's full blown, is it still? Now that's where the whole quote unquote agenda comes in, right? Now because it's a women's movement now and things like that, and the LGBT and all this stuff is in the forefront. Now is it the case where okay, now we just push the envelope and put it out there more so than they would have previously? I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
it's a little
question, right?
weird that they only, as a trailer, they only showed her just being with a girl. Other than that, the rest was gameplay. So like,
Well, I mean,
is this
again, that's part of the
most
story.
important thing that you want to show?
It was hinted at in the DLC.
Yeah,
it was only hinted at.
exactly.
Her friend died, spoiler, and it was seen like it was really bad for her because she was that close to her, not just as a friend, but a lover, probably, a girlfriend.
Okay.
So this is a natural progression for that. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm mostly I like the way she's laughing. Like, yeah, fuck all you do.
She's horny, man.
I tell you, I'm actually glad to see it happen in natural progression because I do feel like I do feel like there's a slight not agenda, but people are playing on a trend. Like I said, Ghostbusters was something.
Trend. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I thought Ghostbusters was something that was playing on a trend. I don't think it was convincing. Not that I hate women or strong women characters and leads. God knows it definitely didn't affect Ocean's 8 when it came out. That was something that did very well this weekend for what it was. Probably did better because they had all these women in there. But I will tell you this: I'm gamers. I remember a long time ago when geeks used to be some of the coolest people. We're the underdogs. We're going to take over one day. And now that all this stuff is mainstream, geeks have been proven to be some of the biggest assholes in the world. Nerds.
Bitches.
When they chase that girl, what's her name?
Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran. When these dudes chased her off the internet, that's when I said, you know what? Fuck all these people out there, man. I'm happy to see it.
It's time to start putting them back in the locker room, boys. In the locker.
Yeah. Y'all need to get y'all's asses beat again. Yeah. Y'all are really trolls, man. So to see a game where not only it's in there, but it fits. I'm happy to see that, man.
Of course. How many characters do we have that are male? Slash that. How many characters are there male and white? It's an influx. The only one right now currently in the mass media is Tomb Raider Lara Croft.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? Looking forward to it, man. Some good stuff. I wish I could see more trailers from E3. They're coming out constantly, but that was a long one. I was engrossed in that. That was amazing.